Coming up, well, someone else has been sleeping with Punch the Door, Paul. That and more coming up.
You want the trash? I got it all for you. Let's rehash the mess together. A sassy hole that only speaks the truth. Nobody gaslights you better.
No, if you're looking for gaslighting, you have come to the right place. Hello, I'm Wilko, and this is Rehashed, and this is the live for all the trash, mess, and drama, everything that's happening off-screen for Married at First Sight Australia. It is season 12, and we're really getting into the pointy end. Yeah, we're past the halfway mark, which means, we'll talk about some stuff that's on the way over the next couple of weeks very, very soon. Before we get into socials, I'll say hello to you in a second, and of course, we're going to get to Memo Me's and everything else. We have to talk about Jamie versus Karina. That's right. It's been the biggest story this week. It's the fallout from the TV BFFs, Karina and Jamie. Obviously, it all boils down to Jamie not being supported by Karina when the trad wife wannabe Loza, was at her nasty best. And Jamie also just doesn't know how to communicate her point without raising her voice. Well, that's at best. And at worst, it's like shouting / screaming. Your feelings, I asked for them in the last live, and I said, put them in and we'll see who's on either side. And it turns out, with your comments, you have been extremely split. So let's have a little looky, shall we? This is the camp for Karina camp, if you will. So here are some of the comments that you've been putting up at Wilko Rehashed on YouTube. Jamie's a bully and disgrace, telling people to, I think that's shut up. I don't think it's meant to be shit up, but maybe it is. I don't want to tell you how to write your comments. I don't agree with her pointing and yelling. Her mean girl narrative controlling behavior was challenged. She then switched tactics and played the victim. She's a martyr. Nobody asked her to bat for anyone. She stuck her nose into everyone else's business because she loves the drama. Fake concern, desperate for airtime. Wow, YC153. Tell us how you really think. Bring back Dominica. Sorry, I love Lauren. Jamie's an instigator and is vile. Come for me, I don't care. Okay, pink fluffy banana-fi? Banana-fi? And also, Team Karina, Jamie is way too loud for me, and Jamie is a loudmouth. And on Team Jamie, going against Karina, people just saying, I'm Team Jamie, Lauren is just mean. They should have chosen her sister. Oh, Cleo. Her sister. They should have chosen Lauren's sister. I was like, Athena's sister's Cleo. Lauren's sister. Okay. Her and Jamie would probably be a hoot. Right. Instead of Lauren, get Lauren's sister in there. And you know how I feel about Tamara. Oh, I'm a huge fan of anyone called Tamara. Jamie, go girl. Swearing is a painkiller. Team Jamie, but honestly, the entire thing is insane. I agree. Definitely Team Jamie. She is real, says it how it is, and unapologetically passionate. Those are the comments that you have been sending through, and I've received a lot of messages on Instagram as well. So let's get to your comments, actually, because I know a lot of people have thoughts and feelings and concerns about everything that's happening with this. Let's get to some highs, actually. Shaz is saying hi from a rain-soaked Brizzy. Yeah, everybody who's dealing with ex-tropical cyclone Alf, I hope you're doing well. Also, so Rui has said Lauren, inverted control freak. Inverted control freak? Do tell. I need some explanation at that. I'm British. This is from Fee-Man. I'm British. We yell and point to. Don't cry if it offends you. Just piss off and be gentle. Yeah, here we go. It is sad to see. I agree with Double Cap. Here's the weirdest thing. It's all over Loza. Who gives a shit about Loza? Not idiot. Why are we even arguing? Look, here's the thing. People were jumping in the comments and saying, why was she even in the fight? This is what the show is. This is my problem, and I've got many problems with Lauren, starting from the Hens Night. But she came on a show where, we're 12 seasons in. We would have been 11 in by the time she applied for it and said yes to it. This is what happens. Everyone comments on your relationship, and you have to sit there and kind of take all the shit. And if you don't, then you can just leave. You said you were going to leave the whole time and then you never did. Never did. I was getting a little bit Kiwi there. What? Here we go. Tassie here. This is my only freak watch. Are we freaky together, Janie Oak? How does that work? And that's true. I agree with this too, Carolyn Rose. They just rotate the drama. Yeah, it depends who is the flavour, but we just move it around. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we just play pile-ons. It's like my friendship group. When we're all at the table, everyone takes a turn getting pummeled. We're all sadists and we get enjoyment out of that. But anyway, here we go. Another comment here. We do have to answer questions. It's the whole show. Yeah. And you have to like sit there and like, because Eddie got called out because he was like, I'm an expert. I don't need to speak to the experts. But this is what the show is. All right, we've got to move on because Jamie has, she's made an appearance this week and she decided that she was going to hold court, I guess, at a Billie Eilish concert at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. She had some things to say, kind of like a preacher in a tent.
Everyone, you got to remember to say with your motherfucking chest, yeah? Yeah! Don't let men disrespect you and you have the girls back, but you know what? Sometimes men need defending too, so you defend the men too. Alright, let's get these fucking photos.
Wow, she is lapping up that newfound fame, isn't she? She bloody loves it. So if you missed bits there because it was very hard to hear, she's basically saying you got to say everything with your chest, like this. Say everything with your chest, and also the guys need support too. I guess. I feel like, I don't know, guys can stand up for themselves, but I think everyone should be standing up for themselves. But anyway, so that's her at the concert, and there is also a lot of comments at the moment chatting about how Dave just isn't into Jamie, and apparently it's all about to come crashing down. So I don't know. I really want it to have some sort of love story, because if I think of the ones that have actually made it, there's not a whole lot. I should do a video about everyone who's actually made it. Actually, one of the most ultimate villains made it with the one that he was gaslighting, so that was interesting. But yeah, look, if Dave and Jamie don't make it out of this season, it's going to look really, really bad for the show. Considering, but then again, remember Ollie and Tani? Like, we all thought that they were like it. And they tried. So I guess at least they tried. It just didn't last so long. Anyway, quickly, Billy has chosen to sit down and do a chit chat with So Dramatic Megan Pussetto. Anyway, you can see bits and pieces on the social. He was talking about how he thinks that Sierra was there just to be on a show again. And I kind of agree with that, because it seems like she didn't really want a relationship, but then also she seemed really broken by the whole experience. Like there's some things that you can fake and, you know, we can put it down to like their acting, but it really looked like for a time there that Sierra was broken. And there were even some photos. I actually should have brought them. Some photos of her sitting down with Tony, having some Tony time. She was just having some one-on-one Tony time. And I don't know if a plate of meat was involved, but she was sitting there and she looked really, really broken. So, but again, I don't know if that was set up by the Daily Mail. Who can tell? All right, Jack versus Channel 9. Jack is having a crack at Channel 9 because she's got some thoughts, feelings, and concerns. A lot of concerns. Most of them are about her.
And for everyone asking why I've gone rogue, it's because I'm pissed off that Channel 9 don't follow broadcasting standards and that I feel like they breached their duty of care, putting me with an abusive man. Some good examples of where they've let the broadcasting standards down is like broadcasting my nipples on TV at 7:30 p.m. Like, that was so fucked during Intimacy Week. There was an incident in the first week, which they've actually had to remedy, which thank God they did that, and edit for the UK show. Putting me with an abusive man and then showcasing me crying, but then cutting up my crying so it looks like I'm fake crying. Like, it's just so fucked on so many levels. Like, I really am excited that Parliament are investigating this workplace, because it is shocking the level of abuse I suffered, like beyond normal, beyond okay, like beyond legal as well.
It's beyond. It's Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, so now Jackie is claiming, and she's using some big words, essentially saying that she was in an abusive relationship with Ryan. If she can't prove that, that is a super damaging thing to say, and I'm assuming we'll see more from Rai Rai over this. He did say in his last weird video that he put up that we all had to stay tuned, so I guess. When she does say Parliament's investigating, I think she means Workplace Safety, the watchdog. They've referred it to New South Wales Police, but that was over the Punch the Door Paul thing being the main focus, and I can't find anything else on it. So when she says Parliament is looking into it, it's not going onto the floor at the assembly. Like, there's no, they're not really looking at it like that. A source apparently at Channel 9 says the cast will be interviewed by police and footage is going to be seized for the investigation. And all I can say is, please give me the footage. I know that would be a weird thing for New South Wales Police to do, but like, give it to me. We'll all watch it for you, and we'll watch it live, and then we'll just let you know. Like, we'll all promise. You'll promise, won't you, that you'll write down the times of things that you think are bad. That's a lot of man/woman/everyone in between hours. You know what I mean? So let us do it. Give me the hard drives. I'm pretty good with anything hard, especially a drive. Quickly, let's talk about Clint. He has had a chat to the Daily Mail. It seems like everybody's out having a chit-chat, and who cares about their contract?
I remember sitting down at the first dinner party, and we're like a minute in, and Loz and I looked at each other and said, what the fuck are we doing here? This is an absolute circus. I had Billy's yelling at Adrian, and Athena's yelling at Adrian, and Adrian's yelling at Dave, and it's just, we're like, holy shit, everyone's yelling.
Mate.
And it's, oh my God, what are we doing here?
What are we
so
doing?
It started to spiral downhill with the want to be in that environment. There was definitely a fair bit of Lauren wanting to get out of there. I was of the same opinion of the dinner parties and then couples retreat. Yeah. I was literally the one at couples retreat that woke up after the first day and was like, we've got to get the fuck out of here. This is not where I want to be.
You wanted to get out because you don't like her.
Me at couples retreat wanting to get out of there. I think most of the cast are actually decent people when they're by themselves. When they get together, I just couldn't stand that environment of people yelling, being disrespectful, raising their voice, just trying to get louder than the next person. And I was like, this is not where I'd like to hang out. Don't mind a bit of a rational debate about anything, but
maybe
you can't even get heard. Like, I'm not loud and outwardly spoken. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I'm happy to have a conversation one-on-one or in a group setting, but be respectful. But I just got sick of trying to talk and then people just piling in over the top, trying to be louder. When I wanted to get out of there first morning of the couples retreat, I know a guy that owns a helicopter, so we were trying to work out how to get a helicopter to land at couples retreat. And then because we just purchased all this fresh seafood, we're like, we're going to get a helicopter, we're going to fly out of here, and we're going to throw frozen prawns at everyone sitting around the pool. And then we actually worked out the pilot couldn't land on the actual grounds because he needed a permit from the owner. We're like, fuck, we're going to have to do it the old school way and hail a cab, but producers called us. We wanted to leave. I was like, we're just going to leave. And Lauren's like, no, let's be respectful to the others and actually say goodbye. So I'm like, no, we need to just head through the snake pit and get out of here. So we went to say goodbye, and production had gotten wind of it pretty quickly. So they're like, what's going on? This is not happening. So we're like, we'll stay, but we need fresh seafood, got groceries, and we got a bit for everyone else. But when we got back and we realised everyone had turned on us, we're just like, nah, we're either going to eat it all ourselves or get the helicopter out and throw it at everyone. We stayed. We got pressured into staying, unfortunately. We cooked a bunch up for everyone else, but at this stage, I think the group turned on us because they could see we didn't want to hang out with them. And we're not better than anyone. Like, we're just like everyone else. But we didn't enjoy the yelling and raised voices, and we're just over that. It wasn't anything personal. We don't enjoy this environment. We actually wanted to get an Airbnb down the road and just hang out and have 5 margaritas and eat prawns and oysters. Yeah.
Well, we know that the trad wife wannabe loves herself a mark, especially on her honeymoon. God, where do we start with that? I drifted off a number of times, so let me know if I forget anything. So apparently it was going to be hard for them to get away from producers just like with a cab, but they thought that it was going to be fine for them to get away with a helicopter. I'm trying to find the plausible bits in this story, and I'm just going to say it now, whatever your name is. I'm going to say it now. No jokes for you. Until you learn to do funnier things, you can't. This is not for you. You don't get to do that, okay? It's so robotic, and apparently Lauren wanted to be respectful and say goodbye to everyone. Are you kidding? There is zero chance that that's actually how things went down. I will never believe that. I'm sorry. And for all the Lauren stans out there, I'm so glad that you love her. But all the stuff that she said, I don't care. Look, take Jamie out of the whole thing. Take Athena out of it. Take Beth out of it. Oh, isn't she firing up? Take all of them out of this scenario. Lauren isn't a nice person. She wasn't nice at the hens night, and for all of Idiot's faults, which there are many, and I'm not Team Idiot all of a sudden, she's a punish. True and simple. That's it. I said it, which means it must be true. All right, speaking about funny, Clint is trying again. He's trying his hand at TikTok, which is fun to watch. And because Ryan gave him a shout out because obviously Clint said his name correctly for once. He is an ex-pro golfer. He's also a guy who's got a Tassie Chateau. Anyway, Ryan tagged him in this post of him doing golf. And so obviously the ex-pro golfer thought he would jump on and do some funny gear. And I thought we could all watch it together because the last video was so good.
Hey, Warrior, thanks for the shout out. Let's have a look at your swing. I know you need some swing tips here, so let's get it rolling. And not bad at set up, a little bit on the heels, but that swing speed, it looks like you've had about 7 wanks before you've hit that shot. I don't reckon you've got much testosterone stored up. No, you wouldn't break open a wet paper bag, sorry there, pal. But keep on trying.
You wouldn't break a wet paper bag. What does that mean? That he's really weak? I don't really understand. Okay. All right. People are messaging me while it's all happening, and I'm going to try and read them at the end. If you have chucked in the chat that you've messaged me, I'm going to try and read that at the end. And also, we're going to get to your memo-me's very, very shortly. That is the latest from Clint. I think I'm starting to get his name. I think I'm really starting to get it. Let me know if I shouldn't get it in the comments. All right. Now, I'm going to quickly ask you, and if I'm just going to quickly eyeball the no's and the yeses. Before I explain what it is, do you want to hear anything from Morena? I think I know what the answer might be, but I want to leave it up to you because what she says is ridiculous. And it doesn't really make sense, as everything Morena has said, but I just want to put it to you. So yes or no, just write yes or no really quickly in the comments and I can just have a quick check to see if you, oh God, okay. Oh, there's a lot of yeses, a lot of no's. No. Yes. Yeah, Lucy says yes. Rashida says no. Shanti says no. Elizabeth says they're all for the bin. There's a lot of no's, guys. Yes for comedy's sake. Hell no. It'll be fun, Janet. I'll take that as a yes. I don't know. It seems pretty even. Why are we so split? All right. I think I'm going to do it. Okay. So, Morena, and I'm sorry, look, if you have to turn off for 1 second, that's fine. But trust me, it's just her. It's not going to be too long. It's just her saying, and I cut it down. Okay. Not like the other ones. I've just let them play, but I really cut this one down because it went on for too long and she takes the biggest gaps between all the things that she says because she can't find the words. And in my head, she can't find the lies that she's looking for. None of it seems true. But here is Morena. She's sitting down. Let me make sure it's the right one. She's sitting down because I didn't know if you were going to say yes or no. She's sitting down with the Daily Mail and she's obviously this is the day that she's done a big press and she has theories. No, not theories. She has truths. These are her truths and no one can tell her otherwise.
There's nothing to understand. I'm out. I tried. And that's when, it all started with you leave, you're going to regret it. You leave, your career's going to suffer. You leave,
your career,
and you won't work in Australia again. How can you do that? How can you do that to someone who they met my kids, my son especially? My son
don't bring your son into it.
Sure, he's got my daughter as well. How can you do that to him? How can How can you be so cruel?
Look at her, look at the camera.
They are good questions that we're probably never going to get answers to.
I don't want it. I used to say to them all the time, whenever I saw directors, whenever I was around them especially, how do you sleep at night? I really want to know how. Because you're a human being too. I know you've got a job to do. Do your job. But you don't have to destroy people. If I did something, fair enough. The fact that you've crowned me the villain, I'm honoured. I really am.
Now
Not
you're
everyone
honoured.
gets that crown. But I will not be defeated by anybody because I know who I am.
Okay. I can't, come on. Okay, so now she's a villain and she's cool with it. I just don't understand her flip-flopping now, because it was like, before it was like, look what they've done to me. And now it's like, they've made me the villain. What a high honor. You've changed tactics, and look, if you'd come out from the start and said, you know what, yeah, I acted like a bit of a psycho and whatever, like, I'd go, great, own it. Do it. Any of the Love Lab rats that I've had, and I've had like some of them like long, many hour conversations with after the season's done. And I don't air a lot of the dirty laundry, because that's not generally what I'm here for, especially when it's post-season. Once it's done, it doesn't really matter. If I find out beforehand, I'll definitely share it. But when I talk to them, most of them who are sane will own up to their bullshit. They'll go, you know what, that was crazy. Or they'll say, a producer baited me, I took the bait and I went with it. You know what I mean? And that's on them, because they took the bait and they signed up for the show. And that was back with like Jack's season and Domenica. So it just seems crazy to me that Morena's, this story of like she got held against her will, and you'll see all these little messages that she writes, and that's her like fighting back. Oh my God. You weren't captive. You signed up for this. Shut up. Just stop. Oh, wow. I didn't know I was going to rant about that. Here we go. All right. Before we get to the biggest story, shall we get to some of your comments and see how mad some of you are? Remember, we're going to do Memo Me's at the end of this.
Memo Me.
We're going to do some Memo Me's at the end of it. And also, if you want to talk to me, you can, right? We'll do some calls on WhatsApp if you want to. I know some people have some thoughts and feelings, and I've received some messages, but if you do want to talk and you don't want to send a memo me, you can. We can just have a chat on the phone. So there is a link in the description of this video. You can go click it. It will lead to my WhatsApp. Send me a message saying, I'd love to chat, and I'll give you a call, and we'll have a chat at the end of this video. Of course, we have to be wrapped up by 7 because it's time for a commit me. Let's get to some of the comments. Annette has said, does she forget her actions and her words are right from her? Yeah. And this is the thing. Some of them you can say, yeah, that was definitely Frankenstein, and we can really hear it. And when we're not seeing their mouth move, I can also say, sure, maybe they set you up there. But when we see their mouths move, that's you doing that. It doesn't matter the situation, you're still doing it. And even if you did it in the situation, it was a poor situation, you can go, well, this is why I did it, but still, that was a shitty thing for me to do. Donna has said, the woman is delusional, lol. And some people are mad. Pebbles has said, I can't handle her TED Talk voice. Yeah. And there's pauses. Like I cut down that to a minute, but that went on for way too long. But what at Tony still being married, is no one else mad about them having a married? Yeah, look, here's the thing. Tony, I don't think is like necessarily the best guy. And I don't think Tony came on for the right reasons. I think he came on because he thought that this could like lock down his ex-partner that clearly doesn't want anything to do with him. But he thought that this was a good idea. Can I say I have it on good authority? Look, I've heard a couple of things that said that Tony definitely is married, right? So that's definite. What else can I say? I also have heard that Tony is very passive-aggressive. Other castmates have heard it. And he's a fun, happy-go-lucky kind of guy unless he's not really in a situation that he doesn't want to be in, and then he's a completely different person. So I definitely think there are two sides, and Morena she was like on fire for being unhinged the entire time. So of course producers are going to use that. And of course they're going to bait her and push her into situations like that. That's their job. They're going to do that. And again, it's season 12. You would know what the show is by now. are all right. People saying spill. I spill as much as I can. And Donna has said, I'm her aged and I'm embarrassed. Yeah, look, it's just, I don't believe, I think some bad things happened to her and I don't think it was a great situation. And if she acted in any way that said, you know what, I went too far. If she'd taken any sort of accountability, then I would like her a lot more. But she come out swinging and said that she was this crazy victim. But now she's changed the narrative to say that she is the villain and she loves being the villain. I just can't do it. All right, we're going to get to some super chats. Thank you to all the super chats that are coming through. Super chat. Thank you to Brooke. Brooke has said, hey, SDA, how are you? No pressure, but would you considering making a Discord group again or Facebook group for the, cult? Okay, the reason why I haven't made a Discord group again and the reason why I haven't made any sort of specific like Facebook groups or whatever is because there is a new thing coming to YouTube called communities. Now, a lot of channels already have it. I haven't been gifted it yet, but it is coming. So I'm going to wait for that because I do want to see what it's like so we can keep everything just sort of in YouTube. And of course, there is a group, like a channel on Instagram where you can just sort of get updates, but it's not as community driven, but I do want to see what the community thing is for that. Thank you so much for your super chat as well. Thank you for another super chat. Super chat. Alexa, my husband and I frequently sing your intro song during the days. It's so catchy. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I hear my partner go, you want the trash? Yeah, bad. For a man who can't sing, geez, I sing a lot. What does it feel? This is from Brooke again, New Zealand, Sweet Baby Angel. What does it feel like quite a few of this season cast haven't watched any of the 11 past seasons? You signed up for the show. Yeah. And thank you so much for the super chat to A.H. Salem. Isn't Tony's wife in the US? Yeah, I think so. I think that's actually the story. So, yeah, I think that is the story. All right, more to your comments in a second. And of course, hopefully we're taking some calls and some memo me's coming up. But there is a big story that we need to get to. It is très, that's French, important. Now, also, now to everyone who writes in the comments, Australia's so big. How did some of these people end up dating before getting married on MAFS? Well, let me tell you a story. Let Daddy Wilko tell you a story. The country itself is large, but the eligible dating pool, and I mean the eligible dating pool, not the people who are POSs and married, is tiny, is little, it's very, very small. It's very, very tiny. So finding someone who's right for you in Australia, very tough. Just because it looks big doesn't mean it's great. Am I right, ladies? Anyway, when I found my now partner, it was like winning the lotto, but more often than not, you lose the lotto. Speaking of losing the lotto, let's have a little looky here. Keep it in the MAFS family. Like Afina's sister dated Punch the Door Paul. Oh, yes. Oh no, Cleo. I can't even do the Australian thing. And I'm Australian. Cleo and Paul, apparently they dated back in 2022. Speaking to the Daily Mail, the 31-year-old revealed that after she ended an 8-year relationship that year, she and Paul connected and enjoyed what she calls, and I quote, a whirlwind romance before she called it quits with him. So apparently she wrapped it up. She said, I met Paul in 2022 shortly after becoming single following an 8-year relationship. It was an instant spark and we shared a whirlwind romance for a couple of months. Cleo apparently wrapped it up because she wanted to focus on herself. And this was no secret, apparently. It was disclosed to Karina off camera. So why didn't we all see this? We want to see it. Bring that mess, I say. See, and there's too many weird things with Paul. And I knew it. Here he is with I told you so's again. Yeah, so that's the biggest story that I've been able to find this week. And it seems like a bit of a nothing event. There was also a lot of people, which we talked about. We saw the photos in the last live that I did talking about all the off-screen trash mess and drama of the bad boys. So it was Adrian, it was Elliot, it was Paul and Tony all walking down the street like a really shit boy band. Apparently what they were walking to was Paul's birthday. So I don't know if there were any doors there and if he abused them, but I'm sure the Daily Mail will be onto it. And really, from the trash, mess and drama standpoint, that is it. Let's get to some of your comments, and then we'll talk about the next couple of weeks ahead. So here we go. This is more chats about Morena, which I love. Sobercat says, "Hey, Sobercat, Eddie was able to leave, but she was held against their will." I don't understand. And you might also be talking about Lauren and Clint, which is like, I can see how the producers want you to stay and they'll use whatever they can to stay, but no one can hold you prisoner. Like, it doesn't matter. You can leave. Sure, you might not get the money that they said you're going to get and whatever, but you know that going into it. And really, you should read the contracts, of which they are dense. Did I talk about Cleo knowing the secret info that could land Adrian in jail? Okay, so this is a legal minefield. I don't know what she knows, but yeah, I did see a few people talking about that on Reddit, and I thought, that's interesting. What has he done other than what we've seen on screen? So there might be some bits and pieces that will come out about Adrian if this investigation, remember it's going to Parliament, according to Jack, if this investigation from the workplace watchdog, if it goes any further, because they've put the police, New South Wales police on it, if it goes any further and maybe they see some stuff on the footage and maybe some coercion techniques from the producers that make it seem pretty dodgy. If there's a producer that gets caught out on camera or mic saying something and they take the footage to have a look at it, and there's a producer saying, no, you can't leave, or like all the things that Morena is alleging, then that's bad. And I cannot wait to talk about that if that is the truth. There's just too many people that have gone through this show that I've spoken to that like, they just don't shit can the show that much. Like, they say like exactly what we think it is. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, it's a shit time and, you know, they don't want you to leave the dinner until you've caused some drama and all that stuff. But no one's ever been talked about like held against their will, which, yeah. Anyway, let's get to some Memo Me.
Memo me, memo me.
Shall we? Let's say hi to Deb M from Sydney, everybody.
Hey Wilko, it's Deb. Thoughts on Married at First Sight? The retreat was fairly boring. Not even
Great.
the manufactured argument between Jamie and Lauren and the girls and all that at girls' night was really that interesting. I guess it's just the producers want to pit women against women and start this constant crap, whatever it is they're doing. The dinner party. I do find it funny that Karina labelled Jamie aggressive for getting upset and raising her voice, but her husband, who cannot handle hearing about her past, punches a wall or door, whatever the hell he punched, and that's passion. Should Jamie have raised her voice the way she did? Probably not, but let's be honest, we all know apparently they're sitting around there for hours on end, fueled with alcohol. You're tired, you're annoyed, you're gonna get upset over stupid things. Bye.
Thank you so much for your Memo Me. I really do appreciate it. I also agree. I agree. It's weird. It's crazy, weird behavior to be like, yeah, punching a door is passion, but pointing and raising your voice, I don't know. But remember, guys, she's an empath. So let's get to another Memo Me. And this time it's Sharon from Ohio.
Hi, Wilko. This is Sharon calling from Ohio, U.S., but I totally fooled you with that accent. I just wanted to say that I love your show, been watching you for years.
Thank you.
Hopefully when this show ends, MAFS Australia, you might consider going back to your coverage of 90 Day Fiancé, because I love that too. Here's my 2 cents about Lauren.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that a patriarchal, conservative trad wife would turn out to be a huge bitch? I think she's trying to get screen time, get notoriety, and then become an influencer. I'll bet you anything she turns out to have one of those TikTok channels where she's like, I need to make my own bubblegum from scratch. So, yeah. Keep up the great work. Love you, man. Bye.
Thank you very much. All the way from Ohio. Guys, Miss Melissa, if you're watching, I'm about to call you, so you're going to be live. Miss Melissa said that she wanted to have a chat, so let's give her a call and let's see if that all works and we can have a little chitty chat on the show, on the program, on the live program. And obviously when you do answer, you have to make sure that you've... I don't think Miss Melissa. Miss Melissa, you there?
I am.
It's so good to talk to you. Thank you so much for saying that you wanted to have a live chat.
Why not? I didn't do a memo me, so I thought let's have a chat.
No, and I did miss your memo me last week because you sent it like a second before I went live.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Sorry.
But I felt really bad afterwards. Yeah, I saw it. I saw the email come through and I was like, I missed it. Anyway, Miss Melissa, what are your thoughts and feelings from the week that was on MAFS?
Yeah, look, I agree with Deb about the dinner party and all that sort of stuff. But just going back to Morena and what she says about being made the villain and that she loves it now. That woman flip-flops more than Jack, and that's saying something.
That is saying something. Yeah, I don't understand the change in her story. Like, obviously, changing your story is never going to look good. Like, all the legal shows I've watched, and I've watched many, you should never really change your story. But Morena, I don't think... I think for her, everything's a monologue, right? So she's not really listening to what anyone else is saying.
True. Very true.
Are you enjoying it or are you getting bored? Because I find the retreats were a bit... It felt a little bit manufactured, and they dragged out over 2 nights the one argument.
They did, and it was a little bit hilarious because Lauren was saying, I'm being attacked, but yet she goes off camera and starts calling everybody names. She doesn't actually call out behaviour, like, you're trolling me. She actually calls people trolls.
No, exactly.
Very different language.
What was that awful wording that she used in regards to Beth? She was over at the pool and she was talking. Did she something about calling her an ugly mute? I think it might have been ugly mute. She went to call her.
She uses terrible language and name calling, and that's a personal attack. It's not attacking people's behaviour and saying, that behaviour is really awful. That's actually saying that person is particularly what I'm calling them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what she can resort to, which kind of says to me that she's actually not that smart. No. If she's just calling people names, and she says, I don't know, Clint in that last video that he did went on forever, so I did tune out a little bit. But Clint was saying that he doesn't, or they don't think that they're better than anyone else, and I'm like, yes, you do. You absolutely do. Yeah, you absolutely do.
We had to call an Uber instead of a helicopter. I mean, who calls? I call a helicopter just to go to work. Please,
come on. Fuckwit talking about I'm going to call a helicopter, and then throw prawns at people. One, it's not funny. Yeah. Stop trying to do humour. And it's just so dumb. I don't know. Honestly, it's great that they found him because I love when they get someone from Tassie because the Tassie people always end up being losers. Losers anything. That and teachers. Teachers are no good. For MAFS. All the teachers I know are lovely. All right, Miss Melissa, thank you so much for doing essentially a live chat with me. No, I think I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Melissa. How excellent. Have I got anyone else who wanted to have a chat? No one else has sent through. All people just sending through photos of watching me. That's nice. Okay, that is all the memo me's. Let's, and we'll get to your social comments just before I wrap up, but let's talk about the next couple of weeks ahead. What we do know that we're definitely going to get some more leaves. Well, can I say definitely? Sure. Anyway, I've spoken to some people. We're going to get some more leaves. That's not going to be a shock. It doesn't necessarily mean the couples leave, but people are writing leave and apparently someone else doesn't make it to the recoupling thing, where they try to recreate the wedding, but there's no guests and they just say things to each other. And, oh God, I just think of that iconic one where Brent said all the mean things to Tam Tam. Anyway, he's got a scandal at the moment, doesn't he, with some sort of moss that people are eating? I saw that somewhere. Oh, God. I saw Harrison was back talking again. Oh, mate, Boondog. What are you doing? Just move on with your life. And then we have them returning to their home, so they have to go and do their home stays, and that is going to be the best time. We're going to really start seeing some action from people. I don't know the truth about. There was a Daily Mail article. It was behind a paywall, and I refused to give them money. So I don't know exactly the big truth that has apparently been shared about Jamie and Dave and how they don't make it to the end, and there's no true love, and Dave isn't really into her, and I don't know. The Reddit people are really falling down a big, deep hole on that one. So if you do have any goss, you can always send it through. Now, before I wrap up, there was a message that came through from a huge MAFS fan. And MAFS fan, I'm assuming you think it's okay for me to say this. I tried to screen it during the Memo Me's, but I'm terrible at splitting my attention. Just wanted to say it here if you wanted to respond in the live or something. This may be controversial, but please let me explain. Good start. This is from MAFS fan. You probably see MAFS fan in the chat. Karina defended the villain and attacked the victim, similar to Olivia defending Carolina. Remember her? Oh, God, and she ended up with that guy. Didn't I do an interview with him? Daniel? Did we call him Daddy for a hot second? Jeez, my memory's terrible. And then they had the audacity to attack Jamie and allow other members of the group to do so, thus making poor Jamie feel isolated and pissed off when she was the only one trying to do the right thing. Jamie was completely in the right, and similarly to Olivia, Karina attacked Jamie, screamed at her, and then got pissed off when Jamie screamed too. Karina never apologized, similar to Olivia. Karina had no empathy for how Jamie felt, similar to Olivia. Oh, we're really talking about Olivia, aren't we? Karina blew the story out of proportion and behaved as if Jamie went in guns a-blazing, similar to Olivia. Karina had the audacity to say that she felt isolated despite the fact that that's what she is. Well, look, I guess a lot of the comparisons can really make sense there. Here's my issue with the whole Jamie and Karina thing to sort of get to the bottom of it. Jamie needs to find a better way to communicate. That is a fact. Like, I understand that she raised her voice because she felt attacked and whatever, but she needs to find a different way to communicate. Because see, Lauren, she gets to say all the nasty, mean things she wants, and people just let it go because she's not getting heated. And people generally, see, I don't mind when people get heated, but I was raised in commercial radio. So if you yell at me, well, that's fine. Whatever. I'm so used to that. It's like the softly spoken nasty stuff that really sticks out for me. So look, people react to things differently, and some people can't deal with someone who's loud and can raise their voice and get to be a bit of a pointer sister. I don't think it's a good behavior because it just doesn't help you in the end. It doesn't help you get your point across. And at the end of that dinner, Jamie didn't look good. Now with Karina stupidly, like Lauren was there saying all these mean, awful things about her so-called TV BFF, and she said, "Okay, I hear you." And that's where you've lost me. If any of my friends, and I know my actual friends, like if anyone says anything bad about me, and don't worry, people do, they'll set them straight. And they're not rude about it, but they'll just say, hey, that's my friend, and I don't want to hear that. And you don't have to be rude about it, but you can't just let Lauren sit there and say those things about someone that you call a friend. I saw Karina come out and she said a lot of stuff about how she wished she chose her words better. And I'm like, well, you didn't choose any words. You didn't do anything. You just sort of sat there. Anyway, we could talk about this forever, but the sad fact is that it's about the hand-me-down trad wife wannabe loser, and it's a huge waste of our time. I don't know what she decided she was going to get out of this show when she signed up for it. Like, what in her process, her brain, that she think, like, we've not really plugged her business. She doesn't really want to have a business. I guess she's talked about being a trad wife, but that's a trend that's everywhere, so it's not like she's promoting it. Like, what was the reason for her coming on here? I don't think it was love. Because no matter what man they were going to give her, she was not going to be happy about it. Even though she had for a hot second just the Tassie Chateau owner, Clint. Sorry. I don't know why I raise my shoulders when I do it. It just feels right. No, he has a neck. I just don't know why I do that. All right. Quickly before we go, let's say hi and get to some of your comments before we wrap it up. Okay, here's some theories. Deb M has said more sales for her business or a rich husband. Yeah, but like Clint is pretty rich. You know what I mean? Like he's wealthy, he's well off. And I'm not saying that, like, he's got chopper money. He wanted to hire a chopper. Whether that's true or not, I don't think about hiring a chopper. You know what I mean? Here we go. Yeah, I agree with this. Again, we've said it before, Lorraine. The questions are part of the show. It's not having a go. And look, I do get to the point where it's like badgering and you don't have to answer. But if you don't answer, then you're like, why did you come on the show? And Isla has said, because the voice doesn't have a neck. See, Isla, you get me. Aussie Sheila said Karina's double standards. Paul's aggression is okay. Jamie is a mean girl. No, she's not. Yeah, I don't think Jamie is a mean girl. I think Jamie just doesn't communicate in a way that can translate to a lot of people. Like, she gets loud. And you can see that Dave communicates with her quite well, sort of letting her go. Micah Bell has said, rich husband to be a traditional wife, but someone alpha, not clean. You got it right. And where's the chopper? Where's the chopper? Oh, that was bad. God, I really got to practice things before I do voices on the channel. Another theory from Joanne is Lauren wanted to get discovered and views for her OnlyFans, maybe, if she has one. I guess in those first couple of interviews, she talks about her tits. Did anyone else clock that? She talked about her tits. I don't know if I ended up when I was doing the reacts video. So just also people are wondering how I do the videos. What I do is I sit and I watch and I film me watching, and then on a general rehash for MAFS, and then I go and cut it up and I put other bits and pieces around it. So, which is a nightmare. So that's why the lives look a little bit different. Just in case you're wondering how the sausage gets made. Oh, sausage. But yeah, I don't know if she wants an OnlyFans. I guess she'd probably get a lot of them, like just her telling like men that they're not good enough. And also MAFS fan wants to clarify the reason that she's talking about Oblivia so much is that she's trying to say Karina is becoming Oblivia. Yeah, no, I got that. Yeah, I got that. I guess everyone liked Olivia at the start, didn't they? And then she had a real hard turn. So I guess, look, we do know that every year they cast certain personality types to be characters. And we can look at all these characters and we can go, oh, I know this person. They might be slightly different, but I know this person. We've seen this before. Judy has said that Jamie needs an indoor voice. I agree. And Double Cap has also said, yeah, he remembers. Oh, they remember. I don't know if it's he or she. Double Cap could be anybody. You're right, SDA. I remember that. So the titties thing did happen. So there you go. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me. I know there wasn't a lot in this live, but I do appreciate you having a chat. I did scour the internet and there wasn't too much stuff that I could find. A couple of sources to make sure that it was at least half legitimate for us to talk about. Now, let's talk about the week ahead. The week ahead, this is all going to change. There's going to be one more rehash from here, I hope, if everything goes well tomorrow, which will be for tonight's Commit Me, which is starting in about 10 minutes if you're on the East Coast and not in Queensland. Oh, and good luck to all of our Queensland Sweet Baby Angels. We're on the East Coast of Queensland. That's really shitty time up there. And the next week is going to be rough because the truck arrives, all my stuff gets down there. But if you don't hear from me from the week, this is when you will hear from me, the weekend. I know that seems like a long time away, but I will be set up in Melbourne in my new studio by the weekend. So we'll still be doing a live, short of like the truck stealing all my stuff, oh please God, or things majorly getting broken. I'm taking all the really valuable stuff by myself, guys. Chucking it all in the Subaru because you know me, deep down I'm a lesbian. So it's going to be a quiet week once again, just as I get the move done. And then I tell you what, we are on. And here's what I can guarantee you: surprise shows that I've never done before are going to be coming up on Rehashed. And I know I'm a little bit behind on 90 Day Fiance. 90 Day Fiance. But I'm going to catch up. Because I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands. I'm back doing this full time and I'm bloody loving it. Once the move's done. Oh, God, moving sucks so much. Thank you to everyone who sent me really sweet messages wishing me luck for the move because I'm going to need it. Before we go, would you like to see Ari Dog? Ari Dog, come and say hi. Would you like to come around this side for once? You never come around. There he is. See, he wasn't far. Here he is. You're so lazy. We went and played Frisbee for a little bit and now he's tired. Look at the tired eyes on it. Oh, jeez. A lot of people talking about you with your tuxedo, apparently. Oh, big stretch. Yeah. All right, keep your dirty tongue in your mouth. That is it. Before we go, I must say, but you left. Bye-bye. Oh, let me get the button, babe.